Happy Friday. Welcome to the challenge, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm really excited about spending these next 10 days practicing together. You may have noticed already that you got this email instead of as one of our sort of big blast emails to the whole list. I decided I was going to break this down and just send out these individual emails to each cohort. So you receive this email with your 3 or 4 accountability partners for this challenge. A few of you guys requested people. I hope I got that right. Please let me know if I didn't pair you with somebody that you were hoping to be paired with. But otherwise, if this is a new group of friends, today's primary objective is that we'll introduce each other and get to know each other a little bit, introduce ourselves and get to know each other a little bit. And then I think particularly important for us, sharing our why. Why is really the theme today. Today's quote is one of my favorite Nietzsche quotes. He who has a why can withstand just about any how. And I know that's a very important message in my life. If I understand my purpose, if I know what motivates me, if I understand and can remind myself why I'm driving towards something, I have really boundless ability to sort of a reservoir of meaning and purpose that sort of helps me drive through even really challenging things. So, in this 10 days where we set some aspirational goals about how we're going to live a little bit of a better life so we can make the best use of this period of time, that we're dedicating ourselves not just to our own health and well-being, but the health and well-being of other people as well. Understanding our why is really important. We'll also just share in our introductions what our goals are so that we can be accountable to our accountability partners. And I'm going to close with just a brief reflection on the importance of why I think tiny habits are important. So let me start with my why. I really have 2 whys for why I'm participating in this challenge. The first is I really believe in the power of habits being really meaningful ways to transform and shape my life. Many of you know, have been following this blog for a while. I started studying habits in 2013 when I started a master's in education. I thought I had this great opportunity to use this master's to understand how to be a better meditation instructor. But what I learned very quickly was the students I was working with didn't need help learning how to meditate. That was actually pretty simple. You could do that in about 10 minutes. What most of us struggled with was how do we form and sustain really healthy habits? I knew the unhealthy habits were really something that dragged me in a direction that I didn't want to go. Choosing pizza over the salad was a great way for me to gain weight and get less healthy instead of better. But pizza always seemed to want out. So where did the strength of these habits come from? How could I reprogram these in my life and pick better habits that would give me more of the life that I was striving for? So one, I really care about habits. I've seen the powerful role it has to shape in my life. But the more meaningful why is really tied into how important meaning and purpose are in my life. A lot of you have heard me talk about my many-year struggle with depression, and a real turning point in my recovery as I've continued to deal with over the decades, being a person with chronic depression, is discovering how important being of service to others was for giving my life meaning and purpose, and how central that meaning and purpose was for combating my depression, both on a day-to-day, but really in a big meta arc of my life. So when I think about my health and well-being, that relates very directly to my ability to be of service to others. When I'm drinking too much, when I'm not sleeping well, when I stop exercising, I start gaining weight, right? Sort of these negative loops start compounding on each other. I start being less and less able to be of service to others, and as a result, I get more and more depressed. And so for me, I have to focus on all of those things at the same time to be maximally of service to others and to be my happiest and healthiest self. So, my quarantine, I've really drilled down and really focused on some of the habits that I'm focused on. So I get to sleep at the same time every night. I get in bed at 9:30. I try to sleep a good night. I'm going to meditate every morning. I have a push-up goal that's my little trigger for getting my exercise going. I'm going to eat at least one salad a day. I'm going to try to make sure one of my 3 meals is a plant-based, really healthy diet. And so those 3 activities, meditating, my push-ups, and my eating a salad, those are my 3 accountability goals that I'll be checking in with the group that I do every single day. Also going to ask that we share a gratitude list with each other every day. And for me, this is really important, especially when I'm getting bogged down in kind of a little bit of a morass. I find a gratitude practice to be incredibly powerful. There's something healing about gratitude, right? If you're grateful for something you have today, you start wanting the past to be exactly the way it was. Because if anything had changed, you wouldn't have the things that you're grateful for in this moment. So I think it's a really powerful, transformative quality to gratitude. So, let me think about this. So what am I grateful for today? I've got a few friends who work in healthcare. I've been working in the health system in my professional life for the last 4 years. And I'm really grateful. There's such amazing people who are out there helping keep our community safe during this really challenging time. I'm grateful for my friends who have dedicated themselves to public health and the physical wellness of our friends and families and community members. And, particularly now when you realize just how at risk they are by participating, I'm very grateful for them. 2, I'm really grateful for being able to do this quarantine with my mother. I'm staying in Fairfield, Connecticut with my mom and her dog and 2 cats. And I haven't had this much time with my mother probably since I was in high school. And it's just been an absolute gift to get to spend some time with her. It's been really quite lovely. And I know this is a little self-referential, but it's true. I'm really grateful for a challenge. These have been a way that our community has been coming together for 6 years. We do these challenges. It's a little exercise of investing ourselves and pushing ourselves a little bit in an intentional way. But I really love to get to know folks through these challenges. So those are the 3 things that I'm grateful for today. I want to just close with a small note about habits. Typically one of the very first pieces of advice I give folks is based on the research of a guy named PJ Fogg. He's a researcher out of Stanford, and he has a wonderful TED Talk called The Power of Tiny Habits, and really wonderful. I can put a link in the email to this, but we have to strike a balance here, right? We want to push ourselves a little bit in this challenge, but we don't want to set a daily goal that's so great that we somehow very, very easily miss it, that it becomes too much to push off. So if you set a goal of, saying, meditating for 30 minutes a day, and instead of 10 minutes, I would rather you set the 10-minute goal and really hit that every single one of these 10 days than set something that's too high, right? So the way we're going to push ourselves is not in the length or quantity of what we're doing every single day. It's going to be in the consistency of doing this every single day, right? So, if you think 20 minutes of meditation is attainable, I'd like you to set a daily goal of 10. If you think 10 seems like a stretch, let's set a daily goal of 5 minutes, right? Whatever your goal is, let's just take a little bit off. If you have a great day and you're feeling like you're in a good groove, you want to do a little bit more, awesome, but let's set the bar really low and try to hit a perfect 10 for 10 rather than go too big, right? So this way that we're pushing ourselves in this challenge is our consistency. We're going to use the group. We're going to use these reminders, these emails that we're going to get, this little intentionality to do that. So to close, introduce yourself to the group, help each other get to know each other a little bit. Please share your why. Why are you participating in this challenge? Why is it important to you to focus on your health and wellness and being of service to others? And then share your accountability goals. What are the 3 things that you're going to make a commitment to do every single day? And lastly, a reminder that we're going to every day also share 3 things that we're grateful for. Really excited to do this. Looking forward to get to know all of you. We'll talk some more about ways that we'll get together through this challenge, and we'll do that by email. But looking forward to practicing with you. Thanks, everybody. Happy Friday.